Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we are playing more solo role-playing games than you could dream of. And today's game is Alien. Hello and welcome back. So this is episode 10 of the series, but it is part 4 of Act 1 of Chariot of the Gods. Yes, we are playing through the game that comes in the adventure that comes in the starter set, the first part of the Chronos strain series. Say welcome back to our subscribers, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for all the support of our members, and thank you very much for all the support of anyone who has got me a coffee thank you, links in the description, or done a super thanks, links in the thing. We have, the last person was Old Desert Gal, thank you very much for your super thanks, and anybody else who would like to, thank you very much, and your support is greatly welcomed, and we will continue to purchase things to keep games going and keep this running, fix cameras, and my mic failed this week, so fix things like that. Anyway, enough of that. Continuing on with our story, we left our crew. We had just activated Mother by opening the door, and Mother had started to turn on as we were trying to take the synthetic Ava up back to the Red Dwarf so Cat could attempt to repair. And at the moment, we were then attacked by the Neomorph, who charged in and ripped us apart, particularly tearing apart our Elliot. Was it Elliot? Sergeant Elliot was killed. Had Sergeant Elliot had his throat removed by the Neomorph, who then attempted to attack and kill the rest of the crew. So we would probably rejoin the action with everyone looking shocked. There's just a huge pool of blood surrounding Elliot as Elliot lays on the floor, throat torn out. A few people have been injured by the Neomorph. Everyone is feeling incredibly stressed. I think we would probably have Crichton would do a quick analysis. Harrison is incredibly stressed. A quick analysis of everybody. So we'll make Crichton make a quick check and then see who Crichton is going to decide is the most injured or the most stressed, and then Crichton will give them a jab of the naproline, which will then reduce their stress back down to 0 instantly. So we will do that as a medical check. We'll do that as, let's say, no, how about command? We'll use command, which is for stopping panic. So that's an 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a 1, which will allow Crichton to be able to identify who has got the most stress. All Crichton needs is a hit. Crichton gets 2 hits. So Crichton can identify that Harrison is the most injured, so Crichton will go up to Harrison. Harrison has, the most stress, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 6 stress at the moment. Crichton will give Harrison a single jab of the neoprene, which will reduce Harrison's stress to 0. I think also, because we scored multiple hits, I've moved the dice now, because we scored multiple hits, Crichton will be able to run his eye over Parks, Lister, well, they're only survivors here, aren't they? Parks and Lister, and see that Lister has the next highest, and then using Calming Presence, he will reduce the stress for one of the characters by 1 stress, reducing Lister down to 4 stress, which will take, say, 2 turns? What's a turn? 10 minutes. So it'll take about 10-15 minutes, so about 15 minutes. During that time, Parks is going to pick up the pulse rifle and make sure that it's all loaded up properly. And then we'll go over and check on Elliot. I'm going to make them all make an air consumption roll because they were fighting, and so their air consumption may go bad. So Harrison has a 3 for air at the moment, going down to 2. I mean, though the lights have come on, the air conditioning, Crichton doesn't need it. Lister only has 2. It's fine. And Parks has 2. It's fine. So although the air has come on, the air conditioning, but what, I don't know if you remember, so the temperature has started to warm up now. It's slowly warming up. And the air is starting to make noise, but they would see that there's no fresh air. So if they did like readings, environmental readings, they would see there's no fresh air coming in because the filters need changing. So we're in a new round, so they would need to assess the situation. The floor is covered in blood. There's a dead neomorph laying there, which has shocked them. They would want to get Ava fixed, but we have Crichton has the personal agenda, just to remind you, which comes from, it's Lucas's personal agenda from the set, which is that Crichton is actually a plant from Bionational, which is a rival Weyland-Yutani rival corporation, and Crichton's mission is to try and get as much information as possible about what's going on. This neomorph corpse is a prime example of that. So everyone who needed to reload, I can't remember who needed to reload. I think everyone who needed to reload did reload. Yes. Now, Lister is going to pick up Elliot's pulse rifle. I forgot the pulse rifles were armor piercing, which means that when the neomorph rolled for armor, instead of rolling 6 dice, it should have rolled 3. So Lister will pick up the pulse rifle and strip Elliot of the magazines for the pulse rifle. Parks is going to, so Parks was in shock. If I remember rightly, Parks rolled freeze, which means that he was frozen and in shock. So Parks, I'm going to make Parks make an empathy roll to try and get himself back into touch. I am going to roll stress dice for this, just to see if he, okay, so Parks doesn't stop for Lister from doing anything that he's doing at the moment. Parks is a bit in shock at the moment, and Parks is pretty much frozen. This is outside of Parks' normal, you know, Parks gives it the large, but Parks is used to dealing with dead things and not having to deal with this. This Parks is new to this squad and hasn't dealt with this before. So this is the point where I'm going to do the next, now we've got all of this sorted out, the next mandatory event in the list, which is Sleep of Ages, which is as the life support systems come online, the sleeping crew of the Chronos wake from their hyperspace in the cryochambers. This is declared by the mother, voice droning, warning, cryochambers deactivated. Warning, cryochambers deactivated. So this is going to take about half an hour as the process starts to run, and everyone will know that this is not a quick process. And this is where I want to roll for Lister to start saying, that's it, we're going. We'll just, let's just go, let's just split, let's just get back on board the Red Dwarf and leave. And then we will have Rimmer will make a decision, because Rimmer's probably shouting down what's going on, what's happening, what's going on, what's happening. So Rimmer will be shouting down saying that. I'm going to give Rimmer +1 stress for that. So Rimmer's got stressed out, trying to find out what's happening, shouting down the radio, what's going on, what's going on, what's happening. And Lister will then be saying, I'm going to make Lister do, I don't know, Lister will make an empathy check plus stress dice, just the same as Parks did, to see if Lister just trips out and just, you know, the Corporal Hicks, nah, time to go, time to go. No, Lister's going to contain it. Lister contains himself. Though he's got a fail, he didn't get any of the stress dice. Mind you, he didn't get a success on that either, did he? So he's not completely wigged out. He's not completely tripped out and saying, no, we've got to go. But he's starting to say, this is a bad idea. We should not be here. I know we've been told to clear the light. As far as we're concerned, everything here is dead. This is derelict. We should leave. This is not the research base that you told us to bring this to. And Parks isn't really responding to this because Parks froze. And this is where Crichton might step in. after sort of, whilst trying to bring Lister's stress down, Chariot will step in and try and calm everything down, and basically he's going to use command to say, no, everything's fine, we need to stay here and do what we're told. And we'll also have Rimmer roll command as well, because Rimmer will do the same thing and want them to stay. So we'll do Chariot first, trying to convince everyone, no, this is what we need to do. The cryopods are opening, we'll go see how they are. That's good. So Chariot does that. Chariot might even then start to say that Cat should come over, because Cat should come over here, because we shouldn't leave this place. There's lots of stuff here that we should be collecting as we've been told to. Now, is Rimmer going to agree with Chariot that this is the job they're supposed to be doing, or will Rimmer disagree? Rimmer has a bit of, so what's he got? So Rimmer's got a 2, so the most Rimmer can roll, so Rimmer could roll an 8. Rimmer rolls an 8, so Rimmer starts to tremble, but we did get a hit off of that, didn't we? So though Rimmer starts to tremble, all skill rolls -2. Okay, so we'll say basically, so his voice is sounding really nervous. He's not really pulling off the old command roll, but he starts saying that he agrees that they need to just stay and make sure that the crew is fine. They can't just leave the crew there deserted. They'll bring the crew aboard the Red Dwarf and they will leave. So check on the crew and they'll leave. And then he is going to tell Cat that he's going to ask them to bring a suit over so Cat can come on board. That's when they might do a scan. Let's see, who could do, oh, Chariot will. Chariot will do a Comtech scan to try and see whether the air is okay. No, Chariot can't get anything off of this. Chariot can't operate the technology properly. Rimmer will try, no. So they don't know, so as far as they can see, the life support's come on board. They don't know that the air is stale and not good. So he is instructing Cat. Now will Cat go over? Cat has a manipulation of, so we're doing a manipulation versus manipulation, which is 6v6, which is Rimmer and Cat. We'll cut to Rimmer and Cat. We'll cut to scene change. We'll cut to, it's fine. We'll cut to Rimmer and Cat on the deck of the Red Dwarf arguing. Rimmer is saying to Cat, you've got to go over and fix that synthetic because it might be able to tell us what's going on. Cat saying, I am not going on board that craft for anything. And they're going to do a face-off for manipulation. We will use stress dice because it's the same for both. Basically, it's the same for both. So this would be Cat. Gets 1 hit with 1 stress dice. So 1 hit, 1 stress dice. And the stress dice is, so Cat is trembling, but gets 1 hit. And then we'll have Rimmer. Rimmer is trembling with no stress, with no hits. So Rimmer is attempting to give Cat an instruction. So we will have, as that didn't work doing the manipulation versus manipulation, and Cat saying no, Rimmer is going to attempt to pull rank, which instantly increases stress by 1. And then is command, which is still 3 and 3. So Rimmer is going to attempt to pull rank and tell Cat, get over there. I'm the captain of this ship. You might be an executive with a special card, but I'm the captain of the ship. Get over there and fix that over. He gets a hit, but he also gets a stress dice. So what's he got? He's got 3 at the moment. 4, so Rimmer holds it and it gets, what was that, 2 hits? I'm going to say it's 2 hits because it's there now. Rimmer holds it and he's giving Cat an order to go over. Now I'm just going to quickly check this because I don't know whether Cat gets to resist this or Cat has to do what he's told. Okay, Cat gets to have a manipulation roll to defend Cat's self, and if Cat fails, then Cat has to do Cat's ordered to, which means go over. So Cat has 6 and 2 stress. Cat is going to attempt to reduce his stress by 1 by holding on, by using his authorization card, which is his signature item, to basically say, I am an executive and I do not have to do what you tell me to. Rimmer, I think we said Rimmer got 2 hits. I don't know if it did roll 2 hits. If I look back at the edit and it isn't, it's only 1, then I do apologise. But so Cat needs to get 2 hits to resist. 2 hits. 2 hits. Okay, so Cat's like, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You see this card? I'm an executive. No. No, 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 no. And they're at a stalemate. So we will then cut back. So we can't hear any of this arguing. We'll cut back to this. Now, what is, so Elliot will have got himself, Parks will have got himself back in check and will sort of understand what's going on. There's 4 of them left. Dave has been voicing wanting to go. He's now picked up the pulse rifle. Parks is going to say, what's Parks going to say? So Parks is going to say, like, whatever that Ava, all right, forget the Ava, forget what the Ava is. We need to go across to the cryo tank. So so we need, where's medical? It's because I read ahead, and what it says is the process takes a few turns. The survivors consist of, it says, survivors, when they wake up, they suffer amnesia and acute disorientation from long time in status. Oh, they've not been that long in stasis. It's been about 3 months, so it's not that long. In the story, it's like 70 odd years. Dr. Cooper, for one, is complaining of a headache. They clearly need medical attention, each requiring a medical skill roll to start recovering, preferably in the med lab if the PCs clean it up. So we don't know what the med lab is, but we are here. Those are the cryopods. I suppose that's the junction that goes down. And then we've got the med lab there. So we could go down that junction to the med lab there. So we know that, science session, to the junction down there to there. So, so the lights are now on, so it's not dark. So Elliot is going to say, leave the Ava there. We haven't got time to deal with this now. As Cat and Rimmer are arguing, at some point Cat's going to have to come over. Hold on. Oh, all right. So, I just read ahead a little bit. So Parks is going to go over to Elliot's body. Parks is going to pick up pistol ammunition. Harrison has pistol. Harrison is down to, so Parks is going to pick up the pistol ammunition, give 2 to Harrison, and take 1 himself. There's the grenade launcher, which he's going to leave because he'll think that's too dangerous, but he is going to pick up the motion tracker, which has got 3 uses left. Energy of 3 left, and he will run that, and then they will move 1, 2 down to here. They're moving towards, so this is per turn. Would they take their oxygen off? They'll do another reading, so possibly they'll turn to Chronos. So as they're moving down, Parks is going to run the motion tracker. It drops down to 1 energy. So Parks doesn't have extensive training of how to use the motion tracker. He will then turn to Crichton and ask Crichton to do an environmental check, because clearly the lights and stuff's come on. Crichton is going to turn around and say that the life support has come on, but the oxygen within the area is stale, and so though they can breathe it, it will not be easy to breathe. Basically, they're going to take a -2 on all stamina checks. I think that's right. A -2 on all stamina checks until they've changed the filters. Yes, they have a -2 on all stamina checks until the air scrubbers have been fixed. So he will advise them of that, and then Parks is going to say, well, take your respirator. It's up to you, but take your respirators off, because otherwise we're all going to suffocate anyway. And then they'll be able to smell that the air is very stale. That is where Harrison and or Lister might say, so Harrison has ship's mechanic, so probably Harrison more than Lister is going to say, we need to fix the air scrubbers. 5. Harrison has no stress at the moment. So Harrison turns around and says, look, the air filters are dead. The air filters clearly need to be changed. Me and Dave can go down and fix the air listers, the air filters. If Dave gets a hit on this, he goes, I'm not too sure about that. No, I'm not too sure. And that's where, because if the air filters are on, then Cat doesn't need a suit, and then Rimmer can make it easier. He can say to both of them, no, we'll go through. So Rimmer might, over the radio, then say to Lister, no, you're going to go and do it. So first off, we'll have a command roll from him. Or we could just do the manipulate. We could do manipulation versus manipulation, him trying to manipulate Lister. So we've got Rimmer is going to try and get no hits, okay? Mind you, if Lister gets no hits. So Rimmer is then going to push that because he needs to get a hit. Oh, man. Okay, so he does get 2 hits, but he also gets a fail. He now has 4 stress, that's 8 stress, which is he starts to tremble again, but he still succeeds, so he still gets 2 hits against Lister. Lister's also got 4. Lister will not push that, and Lister will concede and go, all right, fair enough. If it's going to get me off this place quicker, if it's going to get me out of here faster, I will go fix up that stuff. Now, there's an air scrubber's shaft, but what does it mean by air scrubber's shaft, and where do they fix the air scrubbers? Hold on, let me see where they fix the air scrubbers. Harrison would know this from the... Okay, so to fix the air scrubbers, you need to access via the maintenance shafts, which are these bits here. So as they're having this conversation in this corridor here, it might be easier. This is where Harrison might say, look, we can go fix those air scrubbers, because they would have come through to this bit here, which is where they made the roll. We can go fix them. We need to just go through here and we'll fix them. It will take, how did it say, a shift. So it's going to take a shift. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take a few hours to fix them, but we can change them over and fix them up, and we can see what's been going on and try and get this repaired and then get the oxygen repaired coming into here. So they will do that, which is Harrison and Lister are going to go off to do that. We've then got Rimmer and Cat are still back, and then we'll have Crichton and Parks are going to go down to here and start dealing with these people here, which is all right, so we're going to come down. So then we've got extra people, because we're also going to have the crew, which is quite a healthy sized crew as well, which is Johns, Cooper, Finn, and Clayton. So XO Johns, XO Johns, Sergeant Reed, Doctors Cooper and Finn, and then a company rep Clayton. So there's 5 of them in there. So we will then come across the cryo area. So we've now got 3 lots of people doing stuff, which will rotate through. So we'll go Harrison and Lister, and then we will do Crichton and Parks, and then we'll do Rimmer and Cat, and we'll rotate round and we'll see what everyone's doing. So I don't know how many of these rotations we'll get, but we'll see what happens as we go through. So first off, let's have Harrison and Lister. Harrison and Lister are going to attempt to crawl through the junction. It doesn't say, look, does it say these are difficult to get through? Nope. All right. So we've got large shaft is only accessible via ventilation and maintenance shafts when operating massive carbon filters. So it's really, really loud. So they'll be attempting to communicate with each other. They need to make a heavy machinery roll to assess what's going on. Now, if they fail this, they might miss to see why the air filtration is not working properly, which is because there are some neomorph egg sacs growing on them, and then we will roll to see which of the 2 of them disturbs the egg sacs, which then gets, I don't know if you've seen Prometheus, the little motes come up and then infect them. So we've got Harrison and Lister now in the air shaft, and they are going to attempt to do, so they'll be in there for until probably next session, fixing the air filtrations and just switching them over. So we will have Harrison, where's Harrison? Harrison will do the primary on this, and Lister is helping. So Lister is helping. Let me just look up how you properly do helping with skills. That's just +1. It's a bit like Walking Dead. So you just get a +1 to your check for each person helping. So Harrison gets +1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 for heavy machinery. 5 for strength, 3 for heavy machinery, and then +2 for space mechanic, which is that one. So we'll add another dice roll after this. So we get 1, 2 hits, and then one more roll, 2 hits. So Harrison gets 2 hits. So successfully assesses standing back, successfully assesses the filters and spots there's these weird things on the filters, which we're going to give both of them an observation check to see if they can work out what it is, and if they are idiots, because it's loud in here, if they're idiots and they knock the eggs. So we'll both give them a chance to do 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Lister. Now, if Lister rolls a stress thing, Lister's not going to go anywhere near it, because Lister is, even if Lister gets a success, Lister's going nowhere near these things because it's weird, and Lister wants nothing to do with weird and gets too stressed. A success, and without that, means that these look like eggs or something to Lister, and so Lister doesn't go near them. It looks like eggs or something, and then we've got observation of 1, wits of 3 for Harrison. Harrison doesn't do the check, so Harrison leans forward with like a tool and goes to press them as this is going, don't do that, and Harrison presses them, which will then, these funny fine particles will come out, and because everyone had taken their masks off, even though they're making so as they wouldn't suffocate, this would then be Neomorph Motes. Let me quickly read this. Alright, so this is a Virulence 9 sickness roll. So I roll 9 dice, and then Harrison rolls Stamina with the -2 because of the air filtration, and the one who gets the highest. So if the disease wins, she's infected. If she wins, she resists. Within 1 shift. So we'll just do once, I think. If it fails, no more sickness rolls are made. We get 3 hits from the motes. So the motes have 3 hits, and then Harrison is potential to get 3 hits. It's 5 for strength, 2 for stamina, no stress. Oh, what? Gets 4 hits. So these motes are coming up. She holds her breath. Or no, maybe her system fights against it. So her system fights against it, and it doesn't infect her. Now, do I roll again? So it's every shift. It's every shift. So we need to roll again. So every shift. Does that mean that hold on, where are we? Exposure to motes is normal handled as a disease with virulence 9. If the sickness roll fails, the patient enters stage 3 within 1 shift. No more sickness rolls are made. Oh, hold on. I think it means, because if you're diseased and you fail the roll, then you keep failing. Now, if you're diseased and you succeed in the roll, I don't know if you keep rolling, because you fought off the disease. So I think she's fine from this one. I'll tell you what we'll do is every time we roll, if we roll a Neomorph during this shift part, then we'll make her make another roll and try and fight against again because she's breathed again. So they're in there, they've seen these, they've shifted off the old filters and they're beginning to do the work, and they'll keep going for a shift. They're fixing that between them. What do we have next? We have Chariot and Parks. Chariot and Parks have gone down. They need to make their way down. Chariot's not breathing anyway, but Parks has taken his helmet off. So they've come down into the cryo area. They're in the cryo area, and they can see that the cryopods have opened, and that there are multiple people, and they're beginning to wake up. But as they enter, we'll do a roll for a new scene as they're coming in. Is this scene? Nope. So we're lucky for her. And so we've got to have them down into the cryo. So we have got 5 people beginning to wake up. All of them are looking really rough. They're sitting on the edge of their cots. They're vomiting. They've got those plastic boxes, and they're looking really, really sick. So we'll do Chariot. We'll make a medical roll, and if Chariot passes the medical roll, Chariot will identify the 4, 8, 9, 10, and then we'll get an extra dice as well. 1 hit, 1 hit. So Crichton identifies that particularly one of the people who's the doctor, Dr. Cooper, is looking particularly ill, and they're all moaning and they don't seem to know what's going on, and they're all looking a little bit shocked. At this point, we would think we need to get them to a medical bay, because Crichton will say we need to get them to the medical bay. We need to get them down to the medical bay. What would he be? Parks, we just call him Parks. Parks, I believe we need to get them down to the medical bay and treat them properly. They're going to need some extensive treatment. This is how we'll deal with it. Not this time, it was fast freezing. The cryo process, I believe, was done very fast and may have adversely affected their systems. I need to run some correct scans on them, and the equipment I have is not enough. We need to get them to the medical bay. This also means that I need to explore the science bit a bit more, which Crichton would want, which means they need to first off clear this area here and then head down to the junction to then head down the level and then come out of the junction and into the med lab. So that involves moving through some areas. So at this door, Parks will use the motion scanner and just scan ahead to see if anything's moving in there. Parks is now getting a bit worried because Parks he's now realised that he's on his own. Okay. And what's more, the motion scanner has just died. So the motion scanner dies on Parks, and the battery's gone dead, and he's slapping it going, "Oh, for Christ, not now, not now." Let's make him he's going to make a stress roll to see if he panics. He does. He panics, so he's got 4 at the moment. 4, 5, 6, 7. He starts to twitch nervously. His stress goes up by 1. The rest of the people here who would get more stressed, they're oblivious to it. Crichton is going to, I think Crichton is going to use a shot of the neoprene he's got hardly any of that left, to reduce Parks' stress down. And the justification I'm going to give of this is Crichton needs Parks functioning properly so Crichton can take advantage of this situation and get as much data as possible. Crichton needs Parks calm, so Crichton can get Parks into this examination room as the people are so they'll have brought them into here. They'll sit them down. Crichton will give them some food. Crichton will make a medical roll to see if he can just treat them. All he needs is 1 hit, and he will start to give them some food. So that's all of them again. He'll start giving them some food, some drink, tell them to sit here, tell them to be careful, tell them to be quiet. Yeah, definitely. I won't even bother rolling some more. So they're all feeling okay. He's treated them okay, and he's leaving them there. And he is going to go with Parks into the examination room because we've not done that before. So we will open the door to the examination room. What's in the examination room? I'm eager to know. Where are we? Examination room. The examination room is a mess. There are 2 personal med kits here. Okay, 2 personal med kits. So med kits are for 1 use only. So there are 2 med kits. So Crichton and Parks will take a med kit each. You can only use a med kit once. We'll take a med kit each as they step through into there. It's a mess. But it's clear, so they'll check around the room. Because there are some chairs here and there are some beds and stuff, they will then take this time to move the recovering people across and into this room. Okay, something kicks off, an event kicks off. So first off we will do posed virulence roll for Harrison. 2 hits for the virus. Harrison has 5, 1, 2, so 5, and stamina of 2, which would just give a 5 because the -2. I don't think I did that just then. No hits. Okay. Harrison is we're going to give Harrison the opportunity to push that. Though she doesn't realise she's pushing it, but her body is fighting this virus. No hits. Okay, so Harrison starts to cough and feel sick. No longer needs to make virus rolls because Harrison is infected. And then we will have, so we've got an event. Okay, we have, this is going to be, all right, I'm going to use this one. So positive is we do the next mandatory event. Negative is we just do a random normal event. Positive. Okay, we do the next mandatory event. The next mandatory event is called Mother of All Migraines. Soon after waking up, Dr. Cooper, so that one of those doctors who was complaining, the Dr. Cooper is complaining of headaches and really starts to complain about his head is splitting. My head's so bad. It feels like my brain's exploding out of my ears. We're going to give Chariot a medical roll to see whether this is normal or not normal. Definitely Chariot knows this isn't a normal post cryo sleep. No matter how bad it is, this isn't normal. Before long, he begins to speak. Okay, so Chariot's going to say, look, we haven't got time to leave them here. We need to get them down into the medical room now. This isn't normal. So Parks and Crichton can do it himself actually because Crichton's synthetic. So Crichton will begin carrying Dr. Cooper. They've left Ava in the corridor. Crichton is going to begin carrying Dr. Cooper down towards the medical bay, and Elliot is going to come with him. Now, will we do it? So okay. What we'll do is each time we'll see. So they'll come down into this bottom junction here. The area seems to look okay. If I roll the Neomorph, then it means the next event happens. So then they'll come into here. All the rest of the people, are they going to be down with them? Let's give them all. I'm going to give them all a stamina roll. And if they succeed on a stamina roll, they've come back, they've got their wits back together again. Which is what? Strength and stamina. So that's 6 for Johns. Johns is okay. So Johns has got his wits back together. Johns is a bit worried. Johns is going to go to the locker. He's going to say, where's my flipping key card? But he has got his pistol. We've got Colonel Reed has got 5. What's his stamina? He hasn't got any stamina. So he's just got a 5. Colonel Reed is still out of it. Finn, which is a medic, strength of 2, no stamina. Finn is okay, so Finn has gone across and grabbed his surgical kit and medical kit from his locker. Cooper is the one who's complaining, and finally we've got Clayton, who also doesn't have stamina, but he's okay, he's recovering. So the only person who's not is Colonel Reed. So Clayton is going to say, look, I'll stay here with Reed. Johns has gone and grabbed his stuff. Parks has apologised and handed the key card. Crichton, he's saying, look, we need to get this person to medical. Finn, who's the medic, would also be saying that this doesn't look right to me. Well, let's give him a medical roll. 3, and what's that? That's empathy, isn't it? 5. He's also saying this isn't normal. This isn't normal. So Finn, Johns, Crichton, and Parks are going to head down to the medical bay, leaving Clayton looking after the Marine Reed, Sergeant Reed, as Reed is trying to recover and Reed still hasn't recovered properly. So let's write that down because I might forget. So we've got Clayton and Reed still in recovery. Johns, medic, Crichton, Parks with Cooper go to medbay. So they've gone down. They're at the bottom of the junction. Everything's fine. Parks is going in front, pulse rifle to shoulder. Crichton is carrying Cooper. Johns has his pistol out and is covering the back. And the medic is checking on Cooper as Crichton is carrying him. They get to this junction and they get to the doors in the med bay along here. All the corridors are quite dark, but they're still lit. That's going fine. So then they will enter the med lab. What does the med lab look like? Oh, that's down on level B. So they've gone down to level B deck. All the doors open and push to the button. Med lab. Door opens. there are 2 med pods, older generation med pods in here. One has its plexiglass tube shattered as if something broke out of it, and the other one seems to be sealed tight but lit from the inside. The entire inner surface of the plexiglass of the sealed one is covered in a thick coating of blood. There seems to be rows of specimen jars along the walls. Floating within 2 of them are 2 small... Oh, what? They would have asked them what's going on, wouldn't they? Parks... Well, I completely forgot. Parks would have asked Johns what's going on. So on the way down, Parks would be asking Johns. So as they've got to the doorway, before we got to the doorway, Parks is asking Johns, what's going on? I completely forgot that. I forgot that. I mean, because, you know, we sort of know what's going on. But Parks doesn't. This is insane. Okay, so it says here that Johns readily falls into the second line because he's not very good at giving people orders. So Johns would start to basically follow along whatever Parks is telling him to do. So Parks is saying, what's going on? All right. So they would tell the story of what's going on, wouldn't they? Okay, so Parks will ask Johns what's going on. Johns will give him, he's going to say, I can only tell you so much because it's classified information. But we are a research vessel. We go off and explore places, we return back to this location, we utilise the resources that are normally here in the base that's here, and we do research. A few months ago, we returned back from exploring a planet, I can't tell you where it is, and we had a breach to security protocols. The breach was massive. Most of the crew has been killed in the event. We then locked down in cryo. I'm assuming you've come here to rescue us. And Parks will be like, no, we came here to drop off some samples. We have some samples of eggs and samples of a Yuucha. And they're going to look quite shocked at that. What, from here? Yeah, what do we do? So Parks is going to be curious as to Johns what they're meant to do. Johns is going to say, we need to do a purification lockdown process. We need to get off of here and you need to get us back to safety. This facility is compromised. What else do we have? There's not much about like giving me sort of a bit to say without me reading more ahead, and I don't want to do that. So basically, this is what we know to this point. I mean, look at the place; it's breached. The XO Johns basically just tells Finn, ship's main medical doctor, is one of the junior scientists who helped. All right, so Finn suspects a cure. So Finn is going to say during this, we've tried to work on a cure, but I'm not too sure it worked. I think some of the people who were inoculated with the cure may have got infected. I don't know. And he will say, okay, that's all he's going to say, because he says he's not willing to talk about what happened on LV-1113, nor reveal what other breakthroughs the scientific team achieved before the... All right, so, hold on. Finn suspects the cure isn't safe, but he would rather take the chance with it than witness another bloodburster birth. All right, we're about to see that, I think. The Finn, the doctor, is going to say to Johns, you're not allowed to talk about LV-113. 1113. LV-1113. We can't talk about that. We signed NDAs, we cannot talk about that. And Johns will then shut up. And he is just going to say, we can't talk about it. All we need to do is we need to get Cooper to the lab. So Finn is one of the doctors. Cooper is one of the doctors who worked on stuff. We need to get Professor Cooper to the lab, and I can then inoculate him. Oh no, he took his inoculation. So Cooper has already been inoculated, which Finn would know. Oh, all right. So as far as Finn's concerned, Finn is going to say Cooper got inoculated against. He didn't actually. It says here that Cooper instead pocketed the syringe and claimed he had been administered. He's going to say to make sure the syringe does not become a threat. All right. Well, Cooper's got having splitting headaches and speaking, and he's starting to talk incoherently at this point. As we find out that there was, they went to a planet, LV-1113. They contained some things they needed to test. We don't know what it is. And this is what's going on. At this point, the medical bay door will open, and we will then continue seeing what we saw. We've got, this is probably going to go quite long, but I think this is where it will end soon. We'll see that across from us on a shelf, loads of small specimen jars, and inside them there are these little egg sacs. These are the things that Harrison and Lister have seen, which and on the desk next to there's an open, and there's a metallic urn which is open. There are 4 organic-looking glass vials that are sticking out the top of it. So this is what they see. There's a couple of desks. There's 2 desks in here, and then we've got the med pods. So they will enter this room. It's a bit chaotic. There looks like there's bits of broken glass on the floor around one of the medical bays, one of the medical pods. And they will enter, and in entering, we will then do our scene dice. No. So they will look, broken med pod. All right, so we've got a broken med pod, which Crichton is going to carry Cooper over to, and then hit the button and get it to open up. Now, let's flick back to what Cooper is happening to Cooper, which is our mandatory event. All right, so we have our mandatory event. We'll do, so we'll have, Crichton's going to go over and Crichton is going to do a medical assessment test of this broken med pod. All right, Crichton is, that's loads. Crichton is going to say, this is too dirty to actually use properly. Somebody needs to clean this, otherwise we are going to risk infecting Professor Cooper with further problems. So Reed will go over and Reed will signal to, Parks will stand guard, Reed will go over and Reed is going to say to Johns, don't just stand there, come over and help me. We'll make Reed do a, so who's got the best? Reed will just do a medical check, which is 8, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reed's going to do a medical check, but Johns is going to help to clean it up. So they get it cleaned up. It takes them, let's say, a turn, which is 10 minutes. They clean it all out. They grab some antiseptic and they wipe it down and they clean it out and they move the glass out of the way. And then Crichton carries Cooper across and puts Cooper on the bed, and he's about to close it as Cooper starts to go into massive crescendo of seizures and shaking and violently vibrating, making gurgly screaming noises, froth and spittle coming out of his mouth and coming all around his mouth. Oh, come on, Neomorph. No, doesn't matter. We're going to have this happen anyway. And at that point, Finn is going to do a medical roll and say, oh no, no, it's happening again. And Finn is going to back against the door and try and leave. Parks will stop him and turn and face Cooper. As Crichton is holding Cooper, I will then read what happens next. Blood seeps out of Cooper's nose and ears, bloody eyes rolling over white as the scientist convulses and writhes against the wall. So this is as you and your crew. As the crew, so as Crichton holds him, as Crichton holds him, I'll try and paraphrase it. As Crichton holds him down, the rest of the crew, the Chronos crew, so Johns and Finn, back up massively as Park sort of steps forwards and Crichton is holding Cooper down. In the depths of the seizure, Cooper flails around at everything and anyone. With a sickening pop and a bloody splash, his eyeballs launch from his face and smack into Crichton before bouncing across the floor and rolling under a cryotube. This time everyone pauses, trying to process exactly what they're seeing happen. A slender, gore-covered arm pushes its way out of Cooper's empty eye socket. Oh my God. All right, if you're of a nervous disposition, you might not want to listen to the rest of this. So basically, the Neomorph pulls its way out of the front of Cooper's face, cracking open his skull and splitting it as his teeth move to the ground, and Crichton falls back a step and everyone makes a panic roll, and that's where we will end today's session. Thank you much for joining me. We will rejoin the crew of the Red Dwarf as they attempt to deal with this creature climbing out of the front of Professor Cooper's face and falling to the ground at Crichton's feet. Thank you very much to my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much to all the members. And we will rejoin the survivors, if there are any, next session for more alien fun. See ya.